Renel Martinez, and basically I want to talk about Black Panther. So we know Chadwick Boseman still is written into the movie, and there's all these scenes that they wanted to use a Black Panther for. Now everybody is basically saying they want to go in two routes. They want to go the one route, and I'm going to talk about this in a very detailed way. They want to go down the route that Shuri, the sister, is the Black Panther, and that she takes over the mantle. She takes over the king of Wakanda, queen of Wakanda. So then there's also the other alternative, which is that they will just hire anybody. They'll get anyone to be the Black Panther. They're just like the same way Spider-Man is Peter Parker, and they got Ben Riley or Reilly and Miles Morales. They'll just get another Black Panther, anybody that isn't Shuri. But here's what we're going to talk about. Remember, this is a little bit cruel to do this, but Black Panther died already. Remember, in Infinity War, Black Panther disappeared. And for 5 years of the decimation, they tried to bring him back. So there's a whole story. Think about it. Wakanda already lost its king. Wakanda has already lost its king. And then we have this great moment where he comes back, and he came back. He came back to fight in the battle against Thanos and the Chitauri at the Avengers headquarters. And he comes back with the Wakandans. So basically, I'm going to say something. There's a point of story where Shuri is now they're going to just take place after Endgame and Black Widow takes place around Civil War. So Shuri, it doesn't make any sense to do this, but if you want to just continue Black Panther as if he's still alive and he came back and it was the blip like Spider-Man Far From Home and go from there, then you have to recast the Black Panther. And there's maybe three actors that I was looking at that could possibly play him. There's one that I'm just a total long shot. I saw him in Gotham. He played a cop number two, and he does do acting. So I guess if he gets it doesn't matter what the body looks like because you're gonna have the Black Panther suit on, and he's gonna have a mask on for most of the time anyway. Being the Black Panther, we're probably gonna see more of T'Challa. We're gonna see more of the Black Panther, not him being the king of Wakanda. So whoever they cast, they can do Black Panther based on the fact that Black Panther doesn't show his face and he's in his suit. And it could be anybody being the Black Panther. He could have multiple people that he hires to be Black Panther when he can't do it. So I think they should not kill T'Challa. I think that we should not start Black Panther 2, which it's by the, and you got to keep in mind, everyone's always talking about like, oh, don't recast him. It's too soon. It's too soon. Guys, we're not going to see Black Panther 2 till 2022. So we're not going to see anything about this movie until there's a trailer. And until that time, it's 2020. So 2 years from now, everyone's going to be ready to see Black Panther again. But here's where I'm going to go take it. I'm going to take it to the solution. I think we have to tell the story of what happened to Wakanda when he died because we're going raw right into it, and we can have Iron Man, and we can have Captain America, and we can have the Avengers. So basically, if Robert Downey Jr. really wants to honor the legacy, he could do some cameos again, like he did in Civil War, and we could show Morgan getting pregnant and all that stuff. But basically, for 5 years of the decimation, the blip, when Thanos snapped and got rid of trillions of people, Black Panther was one of those people. People in Wakanda disappeared. So that is the story. And I have a whole story now where we build to Namor. It was always supposed to be two kings, which was a Boss Logic poster, and Black Panther 3, which was supposed to be Wolverine and the X-Men I wanted to do. So we can build to a Black Panther recasting, which we could get Rob Brown from Blind Spot, John David Washington from Tenet, and maybe Omar Evans, the long shot, Omar Evans, Gotham's cop number two. So I think that what we should do is we should open with the death and funeral of the Black Panther, which is the decimation when Thanos snapped. We still have 5 years where Wakanda has to operate and the world has to go back to normal. And Shuri, technology wise, everything, it makes sense that she would take on the mantle of Queen, and they would be looking for a replacement, or they would be thinking that, they don't have quantum realm technology yet. So they don't have the quantum realm yet with Ant-Man. They don't know about time travel. So it would make sense that we start with the world with Ronan. We have Hawkeye Ronan going Ronan. We have the funeral of the Black Panther, which is then the funeral of a lot of people, which is that people died. Thanos killed trillions of people. We need to see that kind of series of 5 seasons worth of a show for the Black Panther, which is Shuri, and the new Avengers, which is the Avengers, which is still alive. You got Captain America still. You've got Iron Man. So, if anything, I think the worst movie to come out was Spider-Man: Far From Home, because now we looked at it, just came back, and they just got back to normal. Iron Man was dead. So Spider-Man Far From Home might be one of the, it also is, to look at it from this perspective, Spider-Man Far From Home, uh Spider-Man, he comes back and he goes on vacation, and he fights the elementals with Mysterio, and you realize it's not true. And they're going to do Eternals now, which is the Celestials and the Eternals, and that movie's coming out. And then you got Black Widow. It would make sense to follow Black Widow and go right from the moment that Black Panther dies, when he disappears, where he goes, "Today is not a good day to die," or whatever. I don't remember the scene, but he disappeared, and that horror, that shock of going right to that, the king is dead, long live the king. It could be long live Black Panther 2, long live the king. And it could be, just all the world of Wakanda for 5 years. Like, who's going to take over the world now? Is it going to be Wakanda? Is it going to be America? Is it going to be Latveria? Is it going to be Namor? Is it going to, like, who's, that is where the movie is. And it doesn't have to be called Black Panther 2 or even anything Black Panther. It doesn't even have to have the name Black Panther, but it has to be maybe about Wakanda, and maybe about the king, the queen of Wakanda, the kings who come in to fight for it, the vibranium. Loki can be involved because he's not. Well, he is dead. Yeah, Loki's dead. But any villains that are like Loki, Thor's rogues, because Thor is still alive. Let's get to see Thor. So we see him get to get drunk in this whole thing. So yeah, and then after we do Black Panther 2, which is Shuri, and they're showing the 5 years of chaos, of the decimation and all the funerals and all the deaths and all the sadness. We're kind of going through that pandemic now. It could be called Black Panther Pandemic, and pandemic, or who knows, the king, long live the king. But by the time we finally get to 2000, if we're doing two movies and you got to wait 2 to 3 years, 1 to 2 to 3 years, it would make sense that people will finally mourn the loss of, you know, Chadwick Boseman. Then we could think about recasting him with the three actors I said. But it feels wrong to go straight to Wakanda's back. We celebrated with Iron Man. We're all back, and then boom, Thanos is dead, and Spider-Man: Far From Home. And Spider-Man: Far From Home is kind of like, it's a Sony kind of movie in a way. It's not really connected. It is connected to the Marvel universe, but it kind of is a fun movie to show us, oh yeah, that's where it's going. We're going to the future where everything gets better again with the blip, but we need to see those leftover years, the leftovers kind of years of what happened, where did everybody disappear, what happened, how they made the council with the Black Widow, because she is the Black Widow, and you could see more movies with Black Widow, Shuri. It would make more sense to do that instead of just skip to another big bad. It would make sense that they killed Thanos, and then 5 years of the decimation, since we're going through a pandemic anyway. So yeah, and then recast and do Namor, Illuminati, all that kind of stuff, all the stones, everything you can get. And we get Captain America back. We could get Iron Man back. There's so much to do. There's so much to do. The Mandarin. You just have to alter what's going to be happening. And by then, by the time Black Panther does come back, which he's going to come back as a new actor, obviously, or not, or someone will replace him, or hey, we don't know how we're going to kill him off because you can't have him be dead. He died, then he dies again, two deaths. I don't know. It's not cool. I would rather have Black Panther be alive. So yeah, just go through the decimation time. Black Panther decimation, Wakanda decimated, pandemic, whatever they want to call it, Queen, and then it builds to the new Avengers, the girls, Captain Marvel, the Eternals. Yeah,